If I told you that the very thing you've been chasing your whole life, the thing you believe you need in order to succeed, might actually be the reason you keep failing, what would you say? Most of us grow up believing one idea: as long as I have enough motivation, I can do anything. We wait for that spark, that rush, that wave of excitement that makes everything feel possible. A new recipe, a new goal, a new dream. And for a moment it feels magical. But then, life happens. The first mistake, the first setback, the first sign that this journey is going to be harder than you thought. And suddenly, that excitement you relied on disappears. You stop. You pause. You tell yourself, maybe this isn't for me. And the cycle repeats again and again until you start believing that you're the problem. That you're not consistent enough, not talented enough, not strong enough. But what if that's not true? What if the problem was never you, but the fuel you've been using? Today, I want to tell you a story about a young American baker named Emily, someone who loved her craft, who had a dream, and who kept giving up every time things got difficult. A girl who believed motivation would take her all the way, until the day she learned a lesson that changed everything. And maybe it's the same lesson you've been needing to hear. Emily grew up in a tiny town in Oregon, in a home that always smelled like vanilla, warm butter, and her mother's famous cheesecake. People would drive miles just to buy it. After her mother passed away, Emily opened a small bakery on Main Street, a quiet place with a chalkboard sign and a dream she held close to her heart: bring that cheesecake back to life. But dreams are heavy when all you have is hope. Every morning, Emily walked into the kitchen with excitement buzzing in her chest. She tried new ingredients, new ratios, new baking times. She chased the perfect idea, the way other people chase lightning, hoping one spark would be enough to create magic. Yet every time the cheesecake came out cracked, or flat, or completely collapsed, Emily did what so many of us do. She abandoned it. She moved on to cupcakes, then cookies, then fruit tarts, anything that felt new and exciting. But deep down, she knew the truth. She didn't want the slow, repetitive work that real mastery required. She wanted the result, not the process, and the bakery began to show it. She wasted pounds of cream cheese, bags of sugar, and endless hours chasing something new. Customers stopped coming because her menu kept changing. There was nothing memorable, nothing consistent, and the silence inside that little shop felt exactly like a clock losing its rhythm, a quiet reminder that things were falling apart. One afternoon, everything finally cracked. Emily pulled a cheesecake out of the oven and the top was burned black. Smoke filled the kitchen. She dropped the steaming pan onto the counter, leaned against the wall, and slid to the floor. Tears hit the tile. "I can't do this," she whispered. "Mom did it. Why can't I?" That night, she wrote a small note and taped it to the front door. Closing soon. She began cleaning the kitchen for what she believed would be the last time. As she opened an old cabinet, she found a wooden box, her mother's. Inside was a small leather notebook. Her hands shook as she opened it, expecting a secret recipe, some hidden technique, a stroke of genius. But page after page, it was nothing like that. Crust too dry, reduced baking time by 2 minutes. Oven too hot, surface cracked. Cheese not blended enough, center collapsed. Overmixed eggs, texture ruined. No magic, no inspiration, just small corrections, patient repetition, daily effort. And in that moment, the truth hit her harder than any failure ever had. Her mother didn't succeed because she was gifted. She succeeded because she kept showing up, mistake after mistake, until the recipe was right. As Emily flipped through the pages of her mother's notebook, something inside her shifted. There was no genius here. No sudden flashes of inspiration. No perfect, secret recipe. Just quiet persistence. Just tiny corrections. Just a woman who showed up every single day, even when she didn't feel like it. And for the first time, Emily realized the truth. Her mother wasn't a culinary prodigy. She was disciplined, patient, relentless in the smallest ways. The thing Emily had been missing wasn't talent, it was consistency. The next morning, she made a decision. A simple one. She would bake one cheesecake every day. Just one. Same recipe, same steps, no shortcuts. The only rule: fix one small detail each time exactly as her mother had written. Day 1, the cheesecake collapsed in the center. Day 3, the top cracked wide open. Day 6, the edges burned. Every part of her wanted to quit. But now she had a new sentence. She repeated like a promise. Tomorrow, I'll try again. Slowly, almost quietly, something changed. She found comfort in adjusting the oven temperature by just a few degrees. She found peace in mixing the cream cheese until it hit the perfect silky texture. She began noticing beauty in the smallest steps, the kind she used to rush through. And then, 3 weeks later, it happened. A smooth, golden surface. No cracks. No sinking. When she sliced into it, the texture was soft, creamy, familiar. It tasted exactly like her mother's. This was her ticking clock moment, the proof that the process works when you do. A few hours later, an elderly customer took a bite, paused, and tears filled his eyes. "My mother used to make a cheesecake. Just like this," he whispered. "You didn't just bake a dessert. You gave me a piece of my life back." That's when Emily finally understood. Her job wasn't to chase perfection. Her job was to preserve what mattered, one small step at a time. Motivation starts you. Discipline finishes you. And the real reward isn't the cheesecake. It's the person you become while making it. I hope Emily's story reminded you of something important, that greatness isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in tiny, quiet steps. The ones nobody sees. The ones you take even when you don't feel ready, or excited, or motivated. Maybe you're working on something right now. A project, a habit, a dream you've picked up and put down more times than you want to admit. If so, I hope this story gives you permission to slow down and simply show up. One small action at a time. One gentle correction each day. Because that's how real change begins, not with fireworks, but with consistency. And if this message touched you, even a little, if it helped you breathe deeper, think clearer, or try again tomorrow, I'd love for you to stay with me on this journey. Hit the like button if this story brought you value. Share it with someone who might need a reminder that they're not failing, they're simply in the middle of their process. And if you want more stories like this, stories that help you grow gently, steadily, beautifully, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you in the next video.